Well, guys, it happened, and then 3 days later, it ceased. It's over now. The trucking industry is safe, or is it really safe? The port workers may have returned to work this Friday. However, the contract is only temporary. They will receive a 62% raise for now. In the interim, only time will tell if they'll actually get what they truly want. Now, my question is for you truck drivers out there, can we get like these union workers? Can we go on strike? I highly doubt it, but let's get into it, shall we? What's going on, everybody? It's Tasia here, and I'm back with another banger today. So it's been a very crazy, hectic week in trucking. A lot of truck drivers did not make any money this week, especially those who pick up intermodal freight, who pick up shipping container at the ports on the East Coast, because on October 1st, 45 to 50,000 truck drivers, 45 to 50,000 dock workers went on strike. They were protesting higher wages and a ban on automation. Now, more specifically on the higher wages, these dock workers wanted a 77% increase of their wages over the course of a 6-year period. You do the math, that's 12.8% per year. Now, here's the thing. Port workers make a lot of money as it is. Now, if they really do feel like they don't make enough, and I can understand that given the fact that we've experienced 40-year highs of inflation, if they really do feel like they don't make enough, they have the right to protest it. But I'm looking at how much a port worker truly makes, and on the low end, they can expect $81,000 a year, and on the high end, they can expect $200,000 a year if you include the overtime. Now, as for us truck drivers, I thought there was a bill circulating in Congress that would give us overtime. I thought, whatever happened to that? Where is the overtime for truck drivers? I don't get it. Like, why can't we get overtime? Why are we exempt from overtime? See, if we could all just unify, if we could all just unite together and protest higher wages, that would be epic, but it'll never happen, of course. Now, a 77% wage increase kind of seems ridiculous to me personally, because these dock workers, they already make a lot of money as it is, and they still claim that it's not enough, apparently, and it kind of seems counterintuitive to protest automation when we've seen time and time again that an increase in wages leads to automation. So I don't think that you can really avoid it at this point. It's an inevitability, but we'll see if they can truly get what they want on January 15th, because that is the deadline, and the timing is really crazy because January 15th, that's really around the same week as the inauguration, when the 47th president of the United States will be officially, they'll take the oath to office. Yeah, the 47th president of the United States will officially be inducted. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I don't know, but they take the oath, and yeah, it happens around the same week as this tentative agreement expires. But yeah, truckers were pretty much down bad this week, and these were going to be the effects if these strikes went on for multiple weeks at a time. It says here that 75% of all bananas consumed in the U.S. flow through these ports, 85% of imported canned foods, and 80% of imported beer, wine, whiskey, scotch arriving in containers at the East and Gulf Coast ports. Over 100 other food categories also depend on the smooth operation of these ports. Now, this strike lasted for a grand total of 3 days, and it cost the U.S. economy $5 billion a day, so around $15 billion. And yeah, so while the damage is pretty much limited, we do have some truck drivers that were They were feeling it this week. They especially if you're a lease driver or owner operator, you pretty much have a negative paycheck, if I'm not mistaken, especially if you have a truck note, maintenance, repairs, and fuel costs. But it says here, the impact on the trucking industry is immense. In the port of New York and New Jersey, 30,000 truck drivers are registered to work, and 12,000 truck visits typically take place every day. Tens of thousands of more up and down the coast are sidelined by this strike. The trucking industry is made up of small businesses, with more than 95% of carriers operating 10 trucks or fewer. This is especially true in the intermodal space, which is composed primarily of owner-operators, small businesses, people who own their trucks, and who live nearby and travel limited miles per day. These truckers and their family depend on these ports and operations for their livelihood. This is a dangerous spot to be in, you guys. We are really entering like the twilight zone, the bizarro world. Trucking is not safe. There is no job security in trucking. What was once a highly praised job, a very, very good living, something that you could, depend on to support your family. There's just so much uncertainty with trucking right now. Currently, it's just crazy to me. This is only temporary. What is going to happen on January 15th if these workers don't get what they want? It may be a tough future for us truck drivers. That's just a prediction. I really hope the best for everybody in this trucking industry. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to succeed. And honestly, I wish that, us truck drivers can, band together and protest higher wages. But for us to, protest, it would have to, the sky would have to be falling or something. And honestly, that's probably not that far fetched to say. I'm just saying, given everything that's going on in the world. And I also like to say this, President Joe Biden, he actually has the power to intervene in a strike like this, something that's gonna drastically affect the economy. And instead of actually enacting the Taft-Hartley Act, this is what he said.
Mr. President, would you intervene in the Dockworkers strike if they go on strike on Tuesday?
No,
Why not?
because it's collective bargaining. I don't believe in Taft-Hartley.
He says it's collective bargaining and he doesn't believe in Taft-Hartley. Now, listen, this collective bargaining crap, now, this is old news. I mean, I wish I would have reported it days ago, but you guys know I'm only able to, post videos every Saturday. I can't really post during the week like I want to because of my job. I'm so busy, but that really bothers me because he's saying collective bargaining. Well, prior to this temporary agreement, there haven't been any talks of negotiations since June. A lot of carriers, a lot of retailers, they have prepared ahead of time for these strikes, and they've actually done everything they could to pull as much freight out of these ports as possible in preparation for, the strikes. But, because we've been hit, parts of the Southeast, especially if you live in Eastern Tennessee, Western North Carolina, you have been hit tragically. My heart really goes out to you guys by Hurricane Helene. And that has created mass shortages in our retail stores. So a strike on top of that, especially on the East Coast, because, all these states have been, literally destroyed by this hurricane are on the East Coast. Like, to have that coupled with the hurricane, it just would have been a recipe for disaster. And for him to say that he doesn't believe in enacting Taft-Hartley is just bizarre to me. Now, I want to hear from you. How do you feel about the protests that happened this week? Do you think they'll happen again in January when this deal expires? Do you think that automation is inevitable? Because I think it's inevitable. I think it's counterintuitive to protest that. But yeah, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. You guys are the best audience on the internet. And if you enjoy videos like this, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm Tasia Woods, and I'll see you next time.